are now going to be giving credit to who credit should be given. And of course, that is our Abia State Bureau Chief, Abia TV's Abia State Bureau Chief, Emmanuel Wazwe, the one-man army. Can we just write this down on screen? One man. I mean, I want to see one-man army under the screen before the end.
I was telling Natalie when the show started, right? I commend you and all your efforts and everything you had to do to, own this reportage.
Accolades, honestly,
and I think you need more prayers in your mailbox. I will indict the company to follow suit.
Those are sensitive jokes, Oji.
Exactly. That's the Senate president's type.
No, well, it could be that heavy.
The Senate president's type of prayer, right?
When they say prayers, it's something very heavy that will hit your mailbox.
The thing with Emmanuel is he just wants to follow the story, whether or not it's even if it's going to cost him his last sweat.
Yeah.
He just wants to follow the story. I don't think Emmanuel cares too much about prayers.
Sometimes
Emmanuel
will
give you the prayer in his book. That's the kind of journalism he does.
It's just a tip of telling you thank you for a job well done, right? Because it's very necessary, it's very important. Right?
Thank you very much.
It's great. Thank you very much for all you did. Because a lot of people were so relaxed in their houses.
Thank you very much.
Having that feel that they are in Abia State, participating in the election. Thumbs up to you, bro.
Thumbs up, and bringing together the most action-packed team that we could.
I appreciate.
When they sent their pictures for the avatars, I knew that Emmanuel did not come to play.
Wasn't joking.
Professional. You see the lady like this. I know. Emmanuel did not come to play. Well done, Emmanuel. And I mean it. I want to see this one-man army on screen before the end of this show because, yes, we have to give credit to who credit is deserved. Now, Emmanuel, people are asking this question. They observed the election on Abia TV. I've seen dialogue going on about the election. The question has been, was the election free? Was it fair? Was it credible? And does Absiec deserve a pat on the back? Or like Ubong said on Saturday, something else on the back?
Saying it exactly as it is, from my point of view, from what I observed, being on the field on that very day, that particular exercise should not be associated with anything credible, fair. If we say peaceful, maybe because we never experienced the kind of insecurity that affected the Imo State local government election. But Abia State was that free. There was no chaos anywhere. That aside, but anything concerning any other thing concerning that exercise to me was a charade because Absiec fell below par. From the promises they gave, they fell below expectations. To the extent, nobody goes into election or the polling area without the results sheet, the world results sheet, and this was completely absent. If I tell you this was what actually led to PDP in Umona Ward 2, boycotting the exercise at the end of the day. In fact, at that particular polling unit, 0, 2, and 3, there was no election all through the day. So one would be surprised to see, results coming from those polling units as it is. And, just yesterday, from the report I found last night, they have received their certificates of return. It means that actually figures were counted from these polling units that were marred by irregularities. So it was below par. The results, my previous reports following the election actually pointed out to the fact that we were looking at this Abia local government election as a litmus test to the Labour Party-led government in Abia State. But at the end of the day, I think that particular test was woefully failed.
All right, Ima, can you react to this this issue of the result sheets? I mean, why do you think that we continue to see this with the state electoral bodies? The issue of either not having any result sheet or not coming with the original. And also, I'd like you to give us a clear figure. If you were to score Absiec on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give Absiec as a score? Then also comment on this Labour Party issue, that Labour Party did not win any seats at the election. Is there a moral lesson to this story?
There is no moral lesson to this story, apart from the fact that it was well orchestrated. It was orchestrated to be so, because before now, the Labour Party was completely unknown. In fact, it was not even in the scheme of affairs in the last general election that that brought Alex Otti to the seat of the number one seat in Abia State. So it's miraculous, politically miraculous for Zenith Labour Party to have emerged, taking 15 seats out of 17, leaving just 2 to another new B, the YPP. Then you ask, where was PDP and where was the Labour Party itself, the ruling party in Abia State? So you'll be able to say that it was politically motivated to be so. Otherwise, it shouldn't have happened, because Zenith Labour Party was, in fact, one of the political parties at the last rung of the ladder. But here, miraculously, something happened.
It's very miraculously and miraculous, adopting your adjective right there. But my question is, in all this that happened, how do the Abians feel about the just concluded election? You are right there, and so you can tell us the feel of the city, the state, right? How do they feel, how the Abians feel about this election they just concluded?
Oji, if you recall, the report I did prior to the election, trying to actually curate people's opinions about the election, where one of my respondents, Wamara, actually said that she hadn't any hope, to go to the polls, because the 2023 general election was a disappointment, according to her. And that was the kind of opinion also molded by some other people, to the extent that in some places there was a sort of apathy. But in a place like Omunatulu Ward 2, you see that people were really, eager to go to the polls. In fact, they brandished their PVCs, especially women. Yeah. They were out there to vote. But then they were disappointed at the end of the day that they left the polling units, back to their respective homes. In this case, you will only expect disappointments on the streets, because what has been done actually is a further, going a mile further to, would I say, truncate or to ridicule the process of selection of leaders.
And also, I would want to engage your thoughts on how the Governor Alex Otti is being perceived at this point in time. Because, yes, definitely, Abians never had it so good as before, since he emerged as a governor of Abia State. Right now, how is Governor Alex Otti being perceived? The trust people have in him. Can you just holistically have that conversation?
Well, infrastructure-wise, his administration seems to be thriving, and people are holding him to that fact that actually those little things that matter when it comes to governance are present. Okay, but his handling of the local government election is another kettle of fish, and you'll be able to look at this whole thing. Not many, will accept those who are really politically inclined, who can mold opinions and also say, no, this is not it. But when you go to the grassroots, it is hardly to be pointed out that those are the grassroots who believe that he is not doing well. No, for them. He has convinced them beyond every reasonable doubt. But then there is this issue of transparency when it comes to financing. The last statistics released, on financial transparency, something like that. Abia ranks well below number 10, okay, with River State, taking the first position. These are some of the indices of governance.
All right, Mr. Emmanuel. Now let's quickly talk about this YPP victory in two local governments in Abia, right? I mean, lots of people wonder why didn't ZLP sweep through all the 17 LGAs? Why did it leave out two
for them.
LGAs? Well, what do you think? What factors do you think contributed to YPP? Yet another party that is not as well known as the majority parties. What could have led to that victory?
Well, Enyi Nyanwafo was one of the governorship aspirants. In fact, he came through the YPP, and his local government, the Osisioma, actually is, in fact, his own stronghold. Many feel that it's a political arrangement to say, okay, well, we'll settle you or with this. Remembering also that a deputy governor in Abia State, talking about Dr. Chimamafo, during the 1999 political dispensation. So that is the situation. And others, it could be said to be politically arranged.
How did you feel covering this election? Were you there just wondering, why are we even here covering it? Why are people voting? Has this already been written? What was your experience covering it? What thoughts were going through your mind all the while?
No, I had the utmost sincerity thinking that this was going to be a different ball game because there is a new sheriff in town, talking about a new government in town. In fact, the mantra around is a new Abia. So if a new Abia is truly in place, it means that a new way of conducting it must be in place. Alas, it was completely different from what we used to have. In fact, it was, they went a notch higher, in putting the electoral system into a greater abyss, a deeper abyss.
Emmanuel, what do you have to say about areas where there were reportedly no elections, but then the results were announced?
Well, that is the situation. If there was no election in certain areas, and you must make sure that these people exercise their franchise, then results are announced. It means that these people must have been disenfranchised. Okay? And if you have disenfranchised them and yet announce results, then what does that tell you? It tells you that what happened was a mockery.
Oji.
Well, I feel the way you feel, by the way, because as you said, a new sheriff in town, and everybody was hoping to see new approach, new strategies, and that governance he holds, to a great esteem. The way he's working for his people. That we're expecting that Governor Alex Oti's election during his regime is all going to be free, credible, and whatnot. But I feel how you feel, and what can we do? This is Nigeria, by the way. Apparently, everybody is gearing up for 2027, and trying to put your people in place, local governments and councillors and all that, right? Because definitely, this is how you are going to attain the second tenure, right? So this could actually be in works for him and whatnot. So what do you think of 2027 and Governor Alex Oti being in LP and ZLP and YPP sweeping all through this election and calling out anti-party activity? How is it going to turn out for LP from the national state, and Governor Alex Oti, giving room for ZLP to attain almost all the chairmanship position in most of the local governments in Abia State. Your take?
What it means here is that there's going to be further political alignment, and before 2027, or even during the 2027 electioneering process, it simply tells you that the governor may not be contesting for a second tenure on the platform of the Labour Party. That may, because this exactly a replica of what happened in Rivers State, where a sitting governor, was in PDP or is in PDP, but his loyalists, contested from a different party. That's just exactly what it is. It's just about securing their political structures, as they say. And in this particular case, it tells you what may be coming. Remember that months ago, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly really come out to say that Governor Alex Oti was going to be the last governor of Labour Party in Abia State. And as it is, maybe people are saying that this could be a kind of political prophecy that may be coming, but nobody knows. Tomorrow still pregnant politically. So nobody knows exactly what he's up to, whether or not he will be porting to a different political party, or there will be a reconciliation with the Abure faction, and then everything comes back to normal. But as it is now, 2027 is afoot, and political alignment and realignment are on.
All right. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for that. Yeah. Of course, for everything that you've done, and of course, your insights on the show this morning. Good looking out. We'll continue to toot your horn and give you all our flowers. Yes.
Your prayers in the mail.
Thank you very much.
The indictment is
thank you. That particular prayer in the mailbox is needed. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support.
I am defending him. Emmanuel, don't mind that challenge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, just a follow-up to your story. I mean, you've heard the reports about the certificate of return being issued to the LG chairman, but now we've also received some photographs of the swearing-in ceremony of the Abia LG chairman-elect. So let's just look at those pictures, and then we can round the show up. I've been your host, as always. Yeah, those are JPEGs, as the social media team calls them. JPEGs from the swearing-in ceremony of the newly elected LG chairman in Abia State. You can see Governor Alex Oti and his beautiful wife, as well as the other supporters and also the LG chairman right there on your screen. So congratulations to all those who have mounted this huge responsibility and, of course, the seats of power in the local government, the third tier of government in Abia State. Good looking out to you all. Congratulations.